Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Anambra Show. It's the second day of July 2024. In case you were not here yesterday, it's a happy new month and I hope you're hale and hearty. Thank God for bringing us into the half part or the second part of the year. And I pray that each and every one of us is going to witness a beautiful, beautiful half of the year and will see beyond this year to his glory and honor. My name is Nonye Nwokoye, welcoming you to the show today. Let's begin with the press review. Good to have you on Good Morning Anambra, and you're welcome to the press review. Now we have been joined by public affairs analyst, barrister Ifechukwu Dan Jacobs. It's good to have you.
Thank you, the presenter. Viewers, you are welcome to the program.
All right, you're welcome. Now, you know, as we do it, is audience participatory. We expect you to go to our Facebook page, for this program is being streamed live. You can drop your comments on any issue of importance raised here. We have stories from so many national dailies, The Punch, The Vanguard, This Day, Daily Independent, and all whatnot. And of course, stories making their headlines on ABS website. Let's begin with that. Let's see stories on ABS website. Anambra Youth Ministry concludes screening of master trainers ahead One Youth Two Skills Program Phase 2. Anambra State Government reassures past political appointees of collaboration. Anambra State Assembly Committee summons Market Caretaker Committee Chairman over financial misappropriation. These are some of the stories on ABS website for today.
Well, on the issue of this One Youth Two Skills program, it's a very welcome development.
This is phase 2.
This is phase 2, and phase 1 went on successfully. This phase 2, I believe that it will be better than phase 1. And those of them that benefited in phase 1, some of them are enjoying the whole grant the governor gave to them. It's kudos to the governor. That is the way to go to build all the future, because the youth are the future of the country. They are the people that will take over tomorrow. If they are not well grounded, the coming generation after them will not be well grounded. So we should do everything humanly possible to make sure we give them what is needed for them to stand firm to train their own children.
All right, I don't know, can we look at Anambra State Assembly Committee summoning a Market Caretaker Committee Chairman over a financial misappropriation?
Well, that is the one of their oversized function to make sure that the issue of revenue of the state is not tampered with. So market leaders temporarily with misappropriate the fund under their care is very, very disheartening, very, very uncalled for. They should do proper investigation. Those that are indicted should be prosecuted.
Okay, to serve as deterrent to others. Yes. All right, let's run the first paper for review. Let's see the Punch newspaper and see stories making their headlines in front of the Punch. Dangote fuel, marketers fear high-priced petrol ahead of supply. Crude price will determine costs of Dangote. PMS, Dapman, Ipman warn federal government. Imported crude makes production costs higher, may affect petrol price, Dangote source. INEC lacks power to conduct local government elections. That's coming from Yakubu. Kano plans appeal after losing 1 billion naira suit against federal government. FG revokes 870 billion naira road contract. 2,270 projects suffer delay. And of course, we have other stories. 27 killed, others injured in Kano, Ogun auto crashes. Lagos, Ogun top as internet users hit 164 million. Recapitalization bank directors acquire 39 billion naira shares. And customs sees 18 billion naira firearms, drugs from Turkey, recover 844 rifles. And of course, that's the picture in front of that Punch newspapers, right?
Well, this issue of imported firearms, they should not sweep it under the carpet. Okay. They should do everything humanly possible to make sure they got the main financer of that particular importation. This is one of the major sources of insecurity. Imagine if this number of ammunition goes into the hands of hoodlums, illegal persons that are supposed not to handle weapons. What will be the state of
the nation?
And I learned that this is entered through Port Harcourt WAF. So they should figure out the reason. I know those that are behind it are powerful men. They should not tolerate such, no matter how highly placed you feel you are, such things should not be tolerated in this country. We have suffered enough in insecurity here. Nobody should be allowed to fuel it further.
All right, quickly, let's look at the issue of Dangote fuel. You know, a lot has been said about that.
One thing about the Dangote petrol or fuel, since he keep on importing crude, we don't expect magic from him. The price, it's a profit-driven investment he made, isn't it? He cannot give it out to Nigerians at subsidized rate or free. He must make profit. If the federal government could not supply him crude, we would not expect wonders from him. They're supposed to supply him crude oil at a rate, even if at a reduced price, because it's within the shores of Nigeria. I know that transportation costs and all other things will make supply to be cheaper. And as well, where he will now bring the finished product into the market of Nigeria, it will be cheaper. But when they allow him to import crude oil, don't expect anything different from what we're having now.
All right, I know the media is trying to, get Nigerians enlightened of what actually is going to play out if eventually that the supply of fuel comes on stream from Dangote refinery. Now let's move on to the Vanguard news. We're taking two papers at a time because of time. We take Vanguard and Daily Independent. On Vanguard, we see stories there: slump in economic crisis, slump in port operations puts 40,000 jobs at risk. That's coming from investigation. Retail sales volume down 50% in 1 year. Supermarket owners. Now federal government sacks 3 contractors handling Obajana Benin Road. We have 2024 Hajj. Our federal government, 8 states splashed 100.6 billion naira on pilgrims. Wike to Kingibe will unseat you in 2027. And of course, SDGs, 63% of Nigerians still wallow in poverty. Tinubu's aide speaking. Goza attack. Shatima visits as ACF Southern senators want action against terror. Customs impounds container load of rifles from Turkey at One. Okay, on sport, Lukman shined in Ghana Football Awards in Accra. And quickly to the Daily Independent news. Customs intercept. Okay, we've seen that. Nigeria's capital importation rose by 210% in first quarter of 2024, coming from NBS. Fight against Borno-bomb attacks, fight against terrorism must be total, uncompromising. ACF. Nigeria police force wasn't established to succeed. Senate leader speaking. Ukraine falls a Russian-backed coup. And of course, we have other stories. Court dismisses Nnamdi Kanu's 1 billion naira rights suit against federal government. Rested RSIEC fixes October 5 for Rivers Council election. Okay, Rivers election committee. Okay, now we see unmanned aerial vehicle, not helicopter, crashed. NAF clarifies. FG debunks report of explosion at Zungeru power plant. All right, these are stories making the headlines on Daily Independent and, of course, the Vanguard newspapers. Let's see.
The issue of terrorist suicide attack on the Borno community is worrisome. When you look at the budget, security budget in this country, it's too huge. And when you look at the result, it doesn't actually meet up with the expectation of the people. They should make sure that these people perpetrated this dastardly act are taken care of properly. Security agents should be on alert. This issue of pardoning some repented Boko Haram or something like that, they should be looked into. Because once you don't deal with them decisively, you don't punish offense, others will be encouraged. We hear they captured 1,000, 5,000 repented, these kind of stories. Once somebody is involved in killing another, that person should be allowed to face the truth of the law.
You know, you were just suggesting what should be done, but Nigerians actually knew this is not the first time the promise is coming to wipe terrorists. Even at a point in Buhari's administration, it was said that they've been fought to a standstill. And after that, it continued. So do you think the confidence of Nigerians are in all what they are saying at this point in time?
Everybody is tired. Where Nigerians feel frustrated over all this recurrent attack. They should do something to stop it. And that is the reasons of all this kind of hunger. And because many farmers, like Borno State is one of the food baskets of
the nation.
They, even in fish supply, they contribute a lot. But all these years, that area have been under serious.
Okay, in other words, enough of talking. Let them do action. Okay.
To fulfill this nonsense.
All right. I don't know. Which other stories are we taking before we move on? We have FG debunking reports of explosion at Zungeru power plant, and of course, Rivers fixed. Okay, Rivers fixed 3rd October for Rivers Council elections.
That is a welcome development. Fubara is fighting on. By fixing date for local government election, that shows that Wike camp over a struggle over local government control will soon be over.
All right, we move on now. Let's see. Other stories are from This Day newspaper, The Nation. Let's see stories making the headlines in front of This Day. This Day report, why Nigeria needs new presidential jets. We have riders there. Last aircraft bought by Obasanjo used by 4 Nigerian leaders. Any unforeseen circumstances will have national implications, findings review. And court slams 3 million on EFCC for unlawfully declaring Emefiele's wife wanted. Okay, U.S. Supreme Court, that Trump has absolute immunity for official acts. Other stories from This Day, Cardoso, non-bank financial institutions key to regional integration, economic stability. We move on now to The Nation newspaper. 1 million applicants seek 1.3 trillion consumer credit loan. Customs impound, okay, we've seen that. And of course, we see Federal Ministry of Works, actually there's a report filled the front of The Nation newspaper. All right, let's see. 1 million applicants, seeking 1.3 trillion consumer credit loan. And what does they speak about The Nation?
This issue of consumer credit loan Well, the speed, things are not going, are not where it's supposed to be. It's showing there's hunger and everybody is now trying. More will apply for that 1.3 trillion credit, consumer credit loan. Because purchasing powers on Nigeria.
Are we sure? How sure are we that there are not more than 1 million, already?
Because there's hunger
in the land.
So everybody would like to benefit from that largesse of the government.
Okay. Now, this day report says why Nigeria needs new presidential jets. They've given some reasons here. And there must be reason for anything they want to do actually.
Before you demand for something, you have your own personal, but you would not consider that reason, whether is it the priority for now. Nigerians are talking of just what to eat, not even to change clothes, car. But what to eat? Many family cannot eat once a day today.
But does it mean that those aircrafts cannot be traded?
They will sell the old jets to use the money, but that is not the issue because the cost of
new
one is enormous.
Okay.
But there's not one, there's not two. They did presidential jet.
Okay.
It's a fleet of jets in the presidential district, both for vice president and the president. They should prioritize the issue of economic development. That money, they can charter flights now to travel. It's cheaper for Nigerians for them to charter and travel for now. For when you consider the cost of fueling the jet, buying the jet, fuel maintenance and all that, it's cheaper to charter a jet for the president to travel for now. Use that money to develop, to stimulate production in this country, to make sure that there is enough industries, the agricultural sector is revived to feed the people. Before you talk about jets.
Okay, let's move on.
We have an example of other presidents of the world that do charter flight to travel. Nigeria is very poor. We are not rich. They have made Nigeria is a very rich nation. But our leaders have made Nigeria to be very poor.
All right, the Guardian newspaper is next in our lineup. Let's see stories from the Guardian and, of course, the Daily Trust. First of all, Guardian. A legacy deep debts among operators stifle telecoms sector service delivery. And we can see display of arms in front of the Guardian newspaper. These are the arms seized by Customs, from One, Port Harcourt. Now, no other stories. Court orders release of men after 15 years in prison without charge trial. Capital importation rises by 198% in 1 year as FDI lags. Federal government terminates contract with Mothercart, then Tata, others over non-performance. 25 died, 53 injured in Kano trailer accident. FG no longer interested in Nigeria Air, ET affirms. PwC raises concerns over Nigeria's 121.6 trillion naira debt rising deficit. Borno bombing debt toll rises to 31. Journalists arbitrary arrest, detention, and deportism. Nigeria police wasn't established to succeed, Senate leader says. Daily Trust, how 25 people died, 127 got injured in Kano road crashes. That's coming from the Daily Trust newspaper right now. Customs intercepts arms drug worth 13.9 billion naira in Rivers. And of course, on the death in Kano, right as there says 25 victims are still unconscious, 120 goats killed, residents blame enforcement officers. So these are the much stories coming from the two papers right away. Right? Which one are we looking at?
Well, this issue of road accident that involve truck and other vehicles. Nigerian road safety issues especially this trailer driver, they are reckless. Most of them are reckless on the road. They should control their alcohol and other drug intake. Most of this accident is carelessness. It's being caused by carelessness. And lots of Nigerians are being handled with carelessness by those that are supposed to protect them. Like this road safety issue, they will allow these drivers to have their way. Many of them are not well trained, they don't care, which is very wrong. By now, road safety is supposed to make sure that any person that is having one thing or the other to do with the highway must be trained.
All right, as a barrister, I think this particular story will be you're going to interpret it well for us. Court ordering release of man after 15 years in prison without charge or trial. And there's I think you're not supposed to be in custody for more than 24 hours.
If police arrest. When police arrest somebody, they're not supposed to detain the person more than 24 hours. With his variable offense.
Okay.
If it's capital offense, they can have an order from court to detain. Most of the time, when they take them to magistrate court or court of first instance, they will remind them. One that person is reminded in prison custody.
Okay.
And somebody be reminded by order of court.
Okay.
But the problem is that they don't follow it up to file information for the trial. That's the problem here now. The Minister of Justice ought to have filed information immediately. And the court that remanded that suspect in prison is supposed to have followed it up.
And I hope they're going to pay him compensation,
In Nigeria. That's 15 years of detention without trial. If in the wrong country, that person will have a very wonderful compensation. Imagine 15 good years.
15 years, without charge or trial.
It's very wrong.
But
maybe it's an offense that would have attracted maybe 1 year or 2 years in prison. He has now spent extra years
in prison.
Imagine that kind of thing. Because this issue of reminding somebody in prison, even if it's an offense that will attract 7 years imprisonment, and someone spent 15 years for that, you will compensate it for the extra 8 years.
All right, quickly, let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. That's the last paper we're looking at, but not the least for this morning. Wike Kingibe in war of words. We have riders there. He is not working for FCT people, Senator says. You won't return to Senate, Wike replies. Okay, Trump has some immunity for official acts, U.S. Supreme Court rules. Borno bombing, death toll now 32. With riders there, terrorist merchants must be stopped. ACF. Intensify efforts in combating terrorism. Southern senators tell federal government, we shall seek justice for the victims bereaved. That's coming from northern senators. And the picture in front of that paper shows the Vice President Kashim Shettima on visit to victims of the bomb blast in Goza, Borno State on Monday. We also have customs seizures. We've seen that, and the pictures is also in front of the Nigerian Tribune, the seizure of ammunition. Now, federal government terminates Obajana Benin Road contract. And of course, court frees 12 Jaika University students facing murder charge. No explosion in Zungeru power plant. Federal government speaks. INEC proposes 142 recommendations to improve electoral process. Says it has no power to conduct local government elections. All right, quickly. We have so many stories in front of the Nigerian Tribune.
I don't know why he liked to thrive in
controversy.
Anywhere, imagine the one he has in University right off. Now he's now making trouble again with the only senator in that federal capital. Well, he's boasting that he was sitting maybe because of what happened in 2023 election. If we have free and fair election, when we can have that God to boast, the INEC should look into their activities again. They should re-examine themselves. Because politicians having that kind of boast that we do that, showing that they have that confidence that they will always influence the outcome of
elections.
The INEC should sit up to avoid this kind of nonsense or boast in Nigeria by politicians.
We have other stories there. INEC proposes 142 recommendations. You know, this is not the first time we are having recommendations for better electioneering period, but at the end of the day, what happens? Okay.
Last election, they amended the Electoral Act, 2022 Electoral Act.
And people were high hopeful.
The work that Act contained that seems to guarantee free and fair elections, but they did not follow it up. Use of INEC and the rest of electronic
and transmission of results immediately.
Even they followed it to the latter. I'm sure that 2023 election would have been the best election Nigeria would have ever had in the history of Nigeria. But the INEC misfired. They dashed the hope of Nigerians unnecessarily. They should look in, not to making recommendations. After making that recommendation, maybe it will lead to amendment of the Act. Let's implement that law. Let's carry out the spirit of that amendment to the letter.
Even the amendment should be for the good of the entire masses of Nigerians.
Many youths were out to participate. Many youths participated in the last election because of what that Act, that amendment promised. Because had it been the issue of transfer of results was done from world level as proposed, let me tell you, we would have not been having what we had in the last election.
All right, finally, quickly, to federal government terminates Obadan and Benin Road contract. We saw that in previous papers, and of course they gave reasons.
Why I don't even want to comment.
Talk about it.
That what the process of awarding the contract in the first place?
Okay.
That is the question. When you look at when the contracts are performing, then you look at the fundamental issues in the award of that contract. Most of them are giving the contract, and the contract is being taken from them behind the doors through unnecessary kickback. And by then, because you have already taken the contract back from them through the back door, they say would like to retain what they have to make sure they do not lose out, and they will not perform the job. But now that they terminate that contract, let them sue them and recover if they are sincere.
All right, and I think that's where we are drawing the curtain on today's episode of Press Review. Thank you so much, Dan Jacobs, for being here.
Thank you, the presenter. Viewers, thank you for giving us your time.
All right, just sit back as we have more coming up on Good Morning Anambra Show.